Hello again and welcome back. This time I'm doing something a bit different. For my customer Noel, for whom I'm currently painting Wars of the Roses, that's a household in France, the start of the retinue behind, the rest of the retinue archers to do today. And then coming over here in that bag, I think that's the levee of this second faction, for which we're going with a blue and yellow theme. It's generic Wars of the Roses, as are the Peter Pig flags. So yeah, we're going. Let me just see if I can pull you in a little bit on some of these. There's the household archers and well armoured billmen now, and behind the start of the retinue, the retained men. A little bit less armour, a lot of mail armour, coats of mail worn, but not quite as expensively or elaborately armed as the household troops. So you basically have within each faction these kind of three classes of troops. You have the household, the smaller group, the retained men, the retinue. There'd be 4 archer bases and 2 billmen, and then we have the masses of the levy troops. I'm not sure how many bases are in there yet. But when Noel sent me this latest batch of Wars of Roses, I've got 2 more factions here in the draw to do. So this is going to be a long, ongoing project, actually. He asked me if I could do a couple of German World War II gliders. I said, yeah, that's okay. I must admit, I thought they were going to be like Airfixy or Revell type kits, but they're resin. They're resin kits, and I've got 4 of them here. So I said, yeah, of course I will, Noel. Noel's a brilliant customer for a very long time. He's kept me painting for a couple of years solid, and we're only just starting into the Wars of the Roses project. But anyway, I've done some. He's got some World War II bits and pieces. He asked me if I could do these gliders, but I don't. I've managed, after a lot of time spent faffing about with super glue and various other types of glue, managed to get the wings stuck on with. It's not neat. I'm going to do a bit of work here. When this is dry, I'm going to file those bits. You can see the joins there. I'm going to file those down a bit and then retouch everything. It's been a hell of a job getting the wings to stick on because they're so long, and there's no, unlike a Revell or an Airfix kit, and I've made lots of model aircraft kits where the wings actually slot into the fuselage. These are the 2 flat parts of the wings that just stick together with nothing. It's a very small surface for what is quite a long and weighty wing. Anyway, I eventually did it with the help of my wife using, I don't know if I've got it here. No, I can't see it here in the drawer. Right, 2-part epoxy resin. Mixed it up, left it for half an hour to start to go off. Then I held the wings together while my wife helped me out by applying pegs, clothes pegs, to hold the 2 parts together while they dried. Left them overnight, and they've actually dried quite solidly. I'll just pick one up here. What you can see is the length of those wings. I'm guessing these are 15mm scale. The wings just look so huge, and you can see it's not brilliantly tidy. But once I've tidied it up, because I won't charge Noel a lot for these, but they have been very challenging in terms of. If anybody knows, you can see the little lumps there. So what I'm going to do is file them and fill them with plastic putty to smooth them off a bit when they're completely dry. Well, the last thing I want is for those wings to fall off after turning it over. I have thought that I could put, you can see the joins. They're still a bit wet and shiny at the moment, but I have thought about putting sort of strengtheners across the bottom underneath there. You're not going to see them, just to ensure the two parts hold together. Anyway, if anybody does know what the best adhesive is to use for resin kits, and I've made a lot in the past. I've done a lot of Warlord, Panzers, tanks, and I've always used super glue, which has never been a problem. I thought about the plastic adhesive, but I don't know. I don't think that would have held these together. I tried super glue first, and apart from sticking my fingers together, I achieved nothing. It was right frustrating time. But the two-part epoxy resin does seem to have worked. It's taken an ordinary amount of time, but I'm determined not to be beaten by it. Once they're undercoated, they'll get a nice working up to a grey. There's no decals supplied with the kits, so I'll see if I can find some decals, because they do finish off an aircraft kit nicely. But yeah, they're German gliders. 4 of those, 4 Noel. And obviously once they're dry as you see them there, I've got to just finish them off the tails and bits like that. They'll be nice models, I think, when they're finished. Once I get those clumpy bits off the wings there, they'll be nice, quite nice models. It took a lot of cleaning up as well with bits and pieces. I guess they're called supports. I don't know much about 3D printing, but really that should have been designed with some kind of peg to allow those wings to join. But they feel quite solid now. That resin has really set up rock hard. My concern would be if they got a knock or something, whether they would just come off. But I don't mind. I enjoy messing around with model kits anyway, so I'm happy to do this. And as I say, we're mostly focusing on Wars of the Roses. I've got some plastic 20mm 1/72 scale. I was just going to be wagons to do for old John Cunningham. So all in all, it's all good. Yeah, okay, I'll leave it there because I think I'm up to where I only ever make short videos. What else have I got? I've just delivered. I should have featured them in a video. I have just delivered 2 units of Epic Napoleonic French for customer Tim. 80 figures a unit on his bases that had the deeper bases with a black strip along the back where he's going to put a label on it, and they've turned out really well. I just posted them off without featuring them here. Sorry about that. So yeah, I'll keep him busy. All right then. If anyone's got any ideas of the best adhesive to use, it'll help me in the future. Otherwise, I think this is going to be all right. I may just strengthen them up under the wings. When they're completely painted and finished, decals applied, I'll come back and just feature them quickly in the next video maybe. I think I enjoy doing model kit, aircraft kits, so I can see that they will turn out well once I've sorted out those joins on the wings. I think they'll turn out quite well. I know Noah well enough now. I've been painting for so long for him. I know what he expects, what he likes. But I'd say to anybody designing resin aircraft kits, you do need some kind of socket or plug-in to allow the wing to set and to make a firm, positive join. Because these take a lot of work otherwise. But they'll turn out fine, I'm confident. Okay then, thanks very much for watching. Bit of a change this time, but we're back on more Wars of the Roses now, so I'm happy. Keeps me going. Right, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers then, bye.